So we're both Muslim, and it was the night before Ramadan. It's like our holy month, and I was waiting for them to make the announcement if it's going to begin the next day or not. We have to sight the moon, and he just comes up the stairs like, and I'm like, we don't know yet. But he just got to Korea maybe what?
One day before.
The day before. And then so we exchanged information. And then Niru, I met him so long ago I don't remember. Actually I remember, but the story's too crazy, so I'm not gonna say.
Yeah. It's like I said, we just met on the stairs. I was walking and I was like, I don't know anyone in Korea. I have no friends. And then I met my friends. And then he introduced me to Niru.
That was the easiest for him because it was your first day here.
Yeah, literally.
I was chilling here for months by myself.
It's the Muslim connection.
I came here for a bit during COVID. I think they were locking people down for like 14 days, but they just changed the policy to 10 days. So I spent like 10 days in a hotel in Yeongin just by myself, not being able to leave.
So you usually meet here in Itaewon?
This cafe is our cafe.
We own it. We own it.
Yeah, we're
In spirit.
In spirit. Yeah. Like we normally meet here, and then we go to our plans.
He's in Noan, he's in Mapo, and I'm in Hanam. So we're all like in 3 different areas. So like it's kind of like the center point. So we usually meet here. It's easy. It's by the station and everything. Yeah. And he's got a car.
Ah, yeah. So after cafe, usually doing what kind of thing?
Food, or another cafe, or like art museum or something like that.
This is our cool down time when we're not working on our projects and stuff. So it's just chilling usually. Here walking around. In Seoul, there's a lot of stuff to do. I'm from Houston, so you can't really it's not walkable, but Korea is very walkable, so there are always things to do and see. You can walk like 30 minutes in Texas and like go nowhere. That's kind of how it is. But there's always stuff to do here. It's pretty chill.
Yeah, I've lived here for like almost 5 years now. Almost 5 years. I just have to take this Korean exam first, which they canceled because. Do you remember last month there was like a fire at the government building or something like that? They canceled my speaking test, but I was ready for my exam. I've been studying like crazy, so now I have to wait until March.
Introduce yourself in Korean.
No, thank you.
It's
안녕하세요. 저는 칼릴입니다. 한국에서 그냥 영어 가르쳐요. 근데 아마도 다음 년에 다른 직업 할 거예요.
What kind of job? 무슨 일 할 거예요?
Back-end engineer.
아.
네, 프로그래밍이에요.
Oh.
네,
You used to do that?
네, 대학교에서 프로그래밍 공부했어요.
아. 한국에서 하는 거예요?
거의 한 5년이요.
그러니까 한국에서 계속 할 거예요, 프로그래머?
사실 지금 몰라요. 아직 wait, I'm messing up now. 아직 how do you say decide?
결정하지 않았어요.
아직 결정 안 했어요.
What you're editing right now?
Right now I'm going through my podcast. This is a guest, the guy from the UK as well.
Ah, yeah.
And he came on my podcast a few weeks ago. So right now I'm just cutting up the clips. Gonna get it ready for YouTube and Spotify. My name is Ahmed. I go by Mead. It's my nickname. From the UK, from just outside of London. And I've been in Korea for about 7 months now. Came as a teacher, and I've been making content since I came out here as well. So I'm doing the teaching and the content creation. Trying to just be proactive, do more than one thing. When I was looking at the options for how to move, it's kind of limited. So that's why a lot of people come to Korea as teachers, is because to get the teaching visa is not too difficult. So you have to do some studying and some training in your home country before you come, and then you can come here quite easily on that visa to then teach, and that is then your stepping stone and your way into the country. For me, I wanted to teach in an environment where I could obviously teach, get a decent salary that can cover the life I want to have and be able to have interesting experiences. Right now I'm working in Mapo at a hagwon. They're teaching kindergarten and elementary school. I think it's been interesting to see because obviously I wasn't a teacher in the UK, I just did my teaching course, but obviously I have a younger sibling he's 5 years old, my younger brother, he's 5, and I also have cousins and things like that I know from school, and obviously I was in school in the UK. And the biggest thing to notice is that there's a lot more structure to the learning in Korea. Where I teach, I remember on the first day, I couldn't find the school. I was lost because I was looking for a school. Like for me, when I think of a school, I think of like a building by itself, separate from like other buildings, has like a big playground, an outside area, like maybe some grass. And I was just looking around, looking everywhere, trying to find the hagwon. And I realized it was inside an office building.
Right.
So it's like an office building with like apartments on top, and then on like the whatever floor is the school on that whole floor. And to me, that was so like interesting and so different, because for me, when I think of kindergarten, especially like 5 years old, you should be outside, you should be running around, like you learn through play. And that's how I remember my kindergarten. It was mainly like arts and crafts. Like today, we're learning about animals. Let's go and like get messy, you know, get clay out and like put clay all over our faces, make like different animal figures. Today we're learning about history. Let's build like a mosque for an Egyptian or something. And it's a lot about arts and crafts and play and learning. Is how I remember my school. And then here it's a lot more structured. Like I said, like they're 5 years old, but they're sitting in perfect lines like this, like waiting to learn, going through the grade books. It's a lot more structured here. The kids are more well behaved as a result. It's very different, and someone who's experienced like the more child-led approach, I guess, where you let the children learn through play, it's hard sometimes seeing the kids, like especially some of the boys more than the girls. They have so much energy, and they want to, like, you can see them in their seats, like they're touch playing with their pens, they're like looking around because they have too much energy. They need to go out and run because they're stuck in the classroom all day. I feel like it limits them in their like development in a way. I don't know. Like, personally, I don't think it's the best way to teach children. But obviously that's the system here, so it's just been interesting to see that difference. Yeah, so for me, I get bored easily. So I can't just have one job. I need to always be doing something else. So that's why for me, like content creation is a great outlet, because it gives me the creative freedom and the control to do kind of whatever I want. So I do, at the moment I'm doing a lot right now. I'm doing YouTube where I do like weekly vlogs. So I'm just like recording my life in Korea so I can show it to myself and like my family watch it back home so they can see what I'm up to, my friends. That's what drives me and gives me ambition, because I want to showcase what I'm doing to others and hopefully inspire them. And that's what I do in my week. I finish work, I go home, I go to the gym, or I play some sports, and then I'm editing basically every evening. One of the biggest ones to me is like safety. A lot of people say this, but it's so true. Like you don't realize how lucky like people are in Korea to have the safety they have. Because coming from like just outside of London, and obviously working in London, and I went to school in London as well at high school. People are just, you have to be alert. Like you don't have the luxury of being able to just walk with like headphones on full blast and just like looking at the floor. You have to like be aware of who's around you, especially at nighttime, and especially. Actually, for guys and girls, it's the same. They have different, obviously, things to worry about. But in places like London, like now, it's so bad. Like if you're in central London and you're holding your phone, you have to hold it tight because someone will just take your phone. Put your phone down on the table, if someone will take it if you look away for half a second. Like it's genuinely bad right now in London in terms of safety and crime. So being here, like it's peace that I never knew I was missing. Like when I'm walking, I can just walk and be calm. I know that nothing's gonna happen. That's one thing I've noticed since being in my first week here when I came, because I'm Muslim. By birth, and like that's my religion. So the first week I came to Korea, it was Ramadan was starting, and Ramadan is when Muslims fast. Every year we fast for 1 month to like get closer to God and to be more grateful for what we have and things like that. So we don't drink or eat from sunrise to sunset. There's no food, no water, like no music, nothing like that, like no worldly things. We have to try and be more spiritually awakened, and we do that to like detox our bodies, detox our minds, like be more thankful, like I said. So the day after I got to Korea, Ramadan started. So my literally it's like I moved to a new country and now I can't eat or drink anything. So it made socializing very hard, because after work people wanted to go eat and I was like, oh, I can't eat until the sun's down. And in that time in like March, it wasn't getting dark until like 7:30, so I couldn't eat until then. But one memorable moment I had is I came to Itaewon because this is like where a lot of the Muslim community are and the mosque is here in Seoul. So I came here on that night and I went up to the mosque and I was climbing the steps and I was just obviously by myself, like being like, I don't know, I have no friends, let me just see if I can make some friends here and see what's happening at the mosque like the night before Ramadan. I get to the top of the steps and there's like one guy standing by himself and he looked cool, he was dressed nice, like he had like a cool like vibe to him. So I just looked at him and I was like, is Ramadan starting? Because it depends on the moon, so we're waiting to see if the moon has been seen or not. If you don't see the moon, it doesn't start. If we see the moon, then we're starting fasting the next day. So I was like, what's happening? Are we fasting tomorrow or not? And he was like, I don't know, bro. Like he's American, so he's like, I don't know, we're about to find out. So we went inside together and then it was starting that day. So on the day Ramadan started, in my first week, I met my best friend in Korea, and it was so nice. It's like so memorable. Like I can remember walking up the steps, feeling like I need to make some connections, and kind of like feeling like a little bit empty, and like I need to make a friend, like a best friend here. And he just happened to be standing there by himself at the top of the stairs, and I bumped into him, and then from then to now, like we've been best friends. So that for me was a great moment, and it kind of, it's a thing where the idea of a Muslim and the whole religion as a whole, everywhere in the world, has been painted kind of negatively by media over the last like 20 years, let's say. Maybe last 25 years, like Muslims have been looked at kind of badly in the media, and we're always portrayed as very aggressive or terrorist this, terrorist that. Like it's very bad publicity. So people already, when you tell them you're Muslim, they're always like, either they think of that as number one, or they have no idea what you're talking about. Like they're just not aware of it. So because it's a relatively new thing to a lot of Koreans and they haven't heard about it much before, when you're looking for things like halal food is the dietary requirement we have. Similar to kosher for Jews, it's like halal is, it just means that you kill the animal with the name of God and you kill it in a very quick way. Like you don't electrocute it, just one quick cut to the animal. It's the quickest way to kill the animal, it's the most painless way to kill the animal, and it makes sure you drains all the blood, so it's actually the healthiest meat. But yeah, so that is not something that's widely available in Korea. So you have to come to certain communities like Itaewon where they have lots of Muslims and you can find halal food, halal meat from the butchers and things like that. But generally going about as well, like it's difficult to find it outside of the small communities. But I kind of knew that before I came, so I was prepared to just eat seafood. Like I love seafood, so my first few months here, like, and even now, I just eat seafood mainly because the seafood is good in Korea. So that's how I deal with things. But it is difficult. There's less availability, less options, and also there's a lot of pork. Like Koreans love pork, and obviously we can't eat pork as Muslims. So sometimes you'll be eating something that you don't think will have any pork in it, and you find there's actually like a little bit of pork in it. For example, like some biscuits in convenience stores, they use pork as like, I don't know, some binder or emulsifier, I suppose, in the ingredients to like make it last longer. Maybe, I don't know the reason, but you have to be very aware of it. Basically, it's something you have to constantly think about. So it makes it a bit difficult to like buy snacks and stuff like that. Yeah, I think one thing that was important for me when I came here was I didn't want to come to Korea and only have English friends or only have foreigner friends. That was like a big thing to me because it's like I might as well just stay in London. There's no point. So I love soccer, or I would say football, but I love playing soccer, and for me, that's always been a way to make friends. Like at my university, that's how I made most of my friends. Like even after university, you meet people playing sports. So when I came here, I made it my mission to like find football straight away. So in my second week here, I found a group of people to play football with, and like 90% of them were Koreans who were playing, like 10% were foreigners. So from like day one, I was making friends that were Korean through sports, through football, and it's like a great way to like bond and make friends. And after we finish playing, we go and get food, or we go to a cafe and we hang out. So it was really nice to like make friends that way. With Koreans, and it feels authentic, you know, it feels genuine because you're connecting over the love of the sport, of the game. So the friendship is real. One thing I've heard from some foreigners, and I've experienced a little bit myself, is that some friendships here, like between Koreans and foreigners, are like kind of forced or a little bit fake. Some people like to have foreigner friends because it looks cool, or they want to show them off and be like, oh, this is my American friend, this is my British friend, listen to how he says water and stuff like that. So people, if you try and find one thing to connect about, that's how you make connections anyway. Right. If you connect over, let's say you're at an event for something, I don't know, it could be anything. If you find one thing to laugh at together, or one thing like you're looking at some art and you both really like this piece of art, any small connection is the bridge to a friendship. And that makes it genuine because you're talking about one shared interest for something. So as long as you're going into it with the right intentions and they're going into it with the right intentions, you can make friends very easily.
Which team do you support in UK?
You're not gonna like my answer, but it's Arsenal.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For me,
yeah.
When I was young, my aunts and uncles, they supported Arsenal. So I just naturally followed them. Because the Arsenal Stadium is like North London, and I live like south of London. So my most local team is actually Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace is my local team, but then I ended up supporting Arsenal. But when I tell people that here, they don't like it because obviously a lot of Koreans support Tottenham because of Son.
Not right now because Son is not in Tottenham right now.
Yeah, now it's changed. But a lot of people don't know that he left. So I'll be talking to people and then they'll be like, especially like girls here, they'll be like, oh, I like Tottenham because of Son. I'm like, Son left, he's not there anymore. Because like I'm from the UK, but my background is quite mixed in my heritage. Like my mom is British, but my dad is half Lebanese, half Ghanaian. So I have a very mixed background. I actually lived in Ghana for a few years when I was younger. I grew up there for like 3 years. So I've experienced a lot of culture in my life. So for me, I can adapt very easily to cultural nuances or anything that's different. I can adapt to quite easily. So when I was in the summer and it was like spring was amazing. Like the cherry blossoms, it was so nice, that the weather was perfect. And I was telling everyone that I can't wait for summer because of how hot it's gonna be. And I loved it until it got too humid. And I was like, everyone was saying just wait. And I went outside one day and I was like, I have to go home. I stepped outside and I literally walked 3 steps and there's sweat coming down my face. And I'm like, why am I sweating? So that to me was uncomfortable, but I think that's uncomfortable for everyone. Because what's nice, but what was actually hard, one time I was playing in summer, in August, and the game was at 12 p.m. in the middle of the day. The pitch is on top of a mountain. There's no clouds. The sun is just on the pitch, no shade. And like, it was the hardest game I've ever played in my life. Because obviously, 1, I'm on a mountain, so it's already like higher altitude. 2, it's insanely hot. Like my feet were burning. And my feet got burnt inside my shoes because of how hot it was. It was like 40 degrees. That's one thing that's nice though, is that in Korea, I feel like everyone's active. And I think it has a very good effect, even on foreigners here. Like everyone is very healthy because like I said, the food is better quality, but also everyone is walking and climbing mountains every day. Like you're trying to walk to work, this hill is like this, and I'm climbing to walk to work, so it's like, it's good exercise. And everyone stays fit, and I think that's why like there's less obesity here, there's less like diabetes, things like that, because of the food, the exercise, the culture is very good. Because in the UK, like people are generally quite unfit, and I feel like when people get to like, everyone starts going downhill like very fast. But here, a lot of the older people look very, very healthy, which is nice to see. But yeah, like I wasn't even trying to lose weight because I wasn't unfit. Like I had like a healthy body. I played football for like the last eight years, like a lot. But I just naturally lost weight everywhere since coming to Korea. Especially with football, it's a thing where like boys and girls, everyone plays football in the UK. So I think everyone at some point thinks, I could go, maybe I should be pro. But because of how competitive it is, I think out of everywhere in the world, I think the UK is the most competitive place to play football. Because if you're not in an academy from the age of like 6 years old, you're not going to be pro. It's very unlikely you'll be pro unless you're like very, very committed to it. Because especially now, like you see the videos of kids now that are like 6 years old, they're better than me. I've been playing my whole life. But when I was growing up, like my parents put more focus, especially my dad, on academics. So I could only play football at school. I couldn't play in like a team or a club until I finished, or I was like nearing my end of high school, then I could. So when I hit 16, he was like, okay, you can now play in a team. But before then, I wasn't allowed to like play in it because the priority was academics first. If you have time, you can go to the park. You can play with your friends as a hobby, but don't go and like put too much commitment into that. But yeah, when I was then like 16 in the UK, then I was like, maybe I should be pro. Let me try. And my local team is called Sutton United. I don't know if you've heard of them. Like they recently got promoted into like 4th, 5th division. I don't know, but they have links with all the schools in the area. So the best players from all the school teams, because like you said, every school has a team. The best players in those teams, school teams, will then all get like filtered into the academy of the local team, so like Sutton United. And my friend and I were going to go and trial there. The way it works is you have to fully commit to it. In the UK, after 16, you can do A-levels, which is for exams, and you can either do it at a sixth form or a college. But when I was applying to go and do trials, they were like, if you want to come and play with us, you have to take our course. So you can't do A-levels, you have to do our course in like sports science or something and commit fully to it, and I wasn't prepared to do that. So, but if you are committed to that, that's how you make the jump. You go in fully into the academy, you study the sports science, you study the way the body works, the biology behind it, and then you just commit to it from there.
You have to decide fully to focus on that course.
Exactly. But I think everyone plays football, even if you're not going pro. Like I've played in so many different leagues with like different levels, where people are like ex-pros. Like in my university team, at university, I played in like 3 different teams. I think across those teams, maybe like 12 players were like ex-academy players. They were in these academies for big teams, and then they like left for whatever reason or got dropped. And some of them used to play like semi-professional. Some now, like they earn money from playing football, playing at like lower levels. So my plan is to try and make my content creation my full-time career, and if I can make content creation my full-time career, I might stay in Korea. because it's a great place to make content. There's a lot of opportunities here, and also if I'm making my own content, I can like travel more freely. Because that's one thing I wanted to do coming here. I wanted to be able to travel more around Asia and also more around Korea itself. But with the job, I work from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. every single day. So it's like 10-hour days. So it's a lot. It's very exhausting. It's not. I can't do this long term. If I want to carry on exploring and going on adventures and making good content.